Choose your destiny. Flawless victory.
What's going on, guys? LordKing here again, back with another Dragon Ball Super review discussion show, Dragon Ball Super episode 93. It was a pretty good one. In general, not the most amount happened in terms of action or whatever, but we did have quite a few good the action moments that were in it were pretty good and entertaining, and we've got some sort of things revealed. So going into it, Goku tells the gang, as we saw in the last episode, he's bringing Frieza back, and they're all quite shocked about it because they're all pretty adamant they don't want Frieza. Goku then just says if Frieza does anything wrong, me and Vegeta can just kill him. So there's no problem there. And fortune teller Baba will bring him back for 24 hours. Vegeta basically says he doesn't want Frieza in the team, and then they end up going into this conversation where they find out from Whis that if they had any chance of winning this tournament without Frieza and just using 9 members, then Whis goes into this little discussion where he ends up saying that there is a warrior out there who is stronger than the god of destruction for their universe, and that god of destruction is possibly stronger than Beerus. Now, Beerus says that it was just in an arm wrestle he beat him. I'm not sure if he's joking or lying there, and maybe the god of destruction is actually a lot stronger than Beerus. So now, I'm not sure if this warrior they're referring to is maybe Jiren. So Jiren could be the one they're referring to because it's all been hyped up about Jiren. Or what I've been speculating, it could be almost a sort of misdirection, that it could actually be Hit. I know Hit isn't the ideal sort of choice, but I feel like it could be a different character, not necessarily Jiren, or maybe just a character of one of the universes that isn't competing in an attempt to set up a future arc possibly in the future, coming up after this arc finishes. Next, we see this very odd sort of character watching the Z fighters, basically standing there. We later find out this is a spy for Universe 4, but he was just basically standing there watching them, reporting their plans back to HQ, basically. Then we go on to see King Yemma, where Goku is basically an instant transmission to, and he's pretty much explaining the situation of what's happening with this tournament, because no one's really aware of this apart from the people who are involved. So he's explaining the situation of the tournament and saying that he needs to revive Frieza, and basically getting King Yemma's permission to go to Hell, get his pass to go to Hell, and find and resurrect Frieza with Baba's help for 24 hours. Obviously, King Yemma's shocked, and he does eventually agree with this. We go on to Universe 6. They're all pretty much trying to force Kale to try and go Super Saiyan. Obviously, Cauliflower has managed to do it, and then Cabba's done it as well. They're trying to get Kale to feel the energy in her back and do it, and do what they've all done themselves. They try insulting her, and Kale basically gets emotional that she can't do it. And then in this weird sort of fluster where she can't do it and she's getting emotional, she ends up managing to go into this crazy sort of legendary Super Saiyan transformation that we're used to seeing with Broly, and it's obviously, as you can see from the picture on the screen, it is indefinitely a Broly sort of inspired image. Kale then basically goes for cover. We're not really too sure why, but she basically says that she just wants to go for cover, pretty much leaving Cauliflower alone. We then actually get to finally learn in the episode what this weird mysterious person was doing, and it is in fact a spy for Universe 4. Basically, again, as I mentioned, reporting back to the HQ, the headquarters, and telling the God of Destruction and the Angel basically what's going on. Obviously, the Kaioshin of this universe was quite shocked that he was using these tactics of a spy, because it could get their universe destroyed if the LordKing found out. But he is pretty adamant, and they basically say Frieza has been recruited. This new warrior called Frieza has been recruited, which is what he reports back. We then get to see quite a cool scene where Goku goes to Hell, and we see Frieza in that setting we're used to, where he's in this really nice sort of tranquil sort of setting. Goku pretty much explains the situation to Frieza, alerting him of what's going to happen and what he needs Frieza for, and the reason he needs Frieza. Moving back to Universe 6, we have Kale basically going for Cabba, and Cabba's trying to attack back and says we kind of need to stop this transformation and transform her back. He pretty much gets overpowered as expected, to be honest, with a legendary Super Saiyan, and Kale uses the Broly-esque move. I think it's Gigantic Meteor, I think is the move name, and Cauliflower basically goes to try and stop and prevent this from happening now, because the blast is quite intense, and she deflects the blast, and as you can see in the picture, she seems to be Super Saiyan 2 here. I think it's now confirmed that she is Super Saiyan 2. Again, it's annoying, as I covered in previous videos, where she's now managed to receive a Super Saiyan 2 transformation in the space of an hour or two. She may be able to go Super Saiyan 3 next, so I'm not sure. We are then back in Universe 7, where we are back into Hell. Goku cuts down Frieza, and we see a very, very cool scene where the whole sky goes into this black, purpley sort of color, very evil Frieza-esque as we're used to. Frieza then goes into his golden form, and again, he says that he will be willing to join this Universe 10, this Universe survival arc, sorry, but he wants to be resurrected afterwards with the Dragon Balls. That is his condition. He will win. Goku says, "You're not really in a position to barter with me," but they pretty much agree that it's going to happen. At one point, it did look as if they were going to fight, Goku and Frieza, saying, "I've been looking forward to fighting you again." That didn't come to fruition. That didn't happen in the end as we wanted to. But Frieza is quite. This is a very throwback sort of esque feeling we had, where Frieza goes into this sort of mode and the skies go dark and things. It was a very cool thing to see. Frieza then does a very, very Frieza-esque thing, and he asks if he can kill in this tournament. Goku says, obviously not, you can't. But again, it was a very, very cool moment showing how evil Frieza is. I'm not sure if it's trying to set up this, show us the evilness to maybe throw in that he's going to betray the universe later. I'm not too sure, but it was quite a cool thing to see. Goku pretty much just says, goes to Baba afterwards, says as a gift for resurrecting Frieza, he will offer her Xeno's button, the summoning button. I'm not sure if that's meant to have any significance because we haven't seen the button in a long time, but he offers that to Baba, and Baba basically refuses that. Go back to Universe 4 again. The God of Destruction is basically saying now what he needs to do because of all this plan that's happening with Universe 7 and Frieza coming in. He needs to make Beerus disappear. So we need to take Beerus out of the tournament. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to happen or what this is meant to mean, if he's meant to do it in a physical way or maybe distract him with something or lock him away somewhere. But this is what Universe 4 God of Destruction wants to do, is to take Beerus out and probably disrupt the team. Or maybe it may make the Omni Kings mad that the God of Destruction hasn't turned up, whatever the case may be. But that is the Universe 4's plan. 1.5 hours to go until this tournament starts. It's getting very, very close now. Why haven't these guys slept yet? I'm not too sure. Next time on the next episode, episode 94, we see Frieza and Goku. Goku's basically talking about what Frieza's doing. They pretty much talk about a warm-up, and Goku says, "Don't kill those guys." So I'm not sure if Frieza has maybe been released into the world and is going around trying to wreak some havoc and basically saying, "This is a warm-up for me. I need to test my skills, blah blah blah," in an attempt to maybe kill some random innocent people. It could be just a test of Frieza's power, so it'd be quite cool, almost a power scaling to see how strong Frieza is again. We also see Roshi, I think it may have been Roshi in the preview, doing like a weird sort of not transformation, but a sort of a summoning ki blast type thing. I don't know, it was quite a weird motion he was doing. But we see Roshi and we see the other fighters, and I think they're all looking towards this Frieza Goku moment of what they're doing. And also there's a fair bit about Universe 4. We'll probably see what they're doing regarding Beerus. That wraps up this episode, guys. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If I've missed anything, then please let me know down below. Tell me what you thought of the episode as well. As always, stay tuned for more. I'll have some online ranked random battles videos coming, and then obviously my UFC reviews and things subscribe choice challenge as well. Thank you as always, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I've been LordKing. Goodbye.